Hi everyone! Welcome back to Power with Pride. I am so happy each and every one of you are here. And we are raising money for the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ young people. The organization works to save young lives by providing support through free and confidential suicide prevention and crisis intervention programs on platforms where young people spend their time. So thank you so much to every single person who has donated during this marathon. It's going to a cause that's really important for our communities. And I'm really excited for this next run. We have Devil May Cry by the Hobo Gaming. Take it away.
Well, obviously, this is Devil May Cry, as just stated, is on the easiest difficulty for the fact that you start with 2 difficulties, and the other difficulty is a longer version of this one. So I guess I'll start and explain as we go. So 3, 2, 1, go. So this is an action game. It has 3 characters to play as, Nero, V, and Dante. I'll explain Nero's one with. Um, he was introduced in Devil May Cry 4. He didn't have too much to his arsenal. Like, he had enough, but they added a system called breakers that we won't see yet. But he has this sword that you can rev up because it has a motorcycle in
Let's get airborne.
it. But you can rev it up right after a hit. So that'll give you the chance to keep up your speed since it increases damage and damage and speed of the attack by 20%. I think that's what makes him such a fun character to play, is the instant gratification of hitting what is called X seeds like that.
Let's get airborne.
But right now we're very bare bones, since if you notice we're picking up like red orbs that fall around us. That is the currency in the game we use to buy new moves, which will speed us up. Right now, that was just a green orb that recovers health. But right now, we don't have any new moves, since we're right at the beginning of the game.
Let's get airborne. Right and high.
This is just taunting in air, which is the fastest movement right now for Nero. And now we just die. That's the goal right here. Because you can beat this boss, but that's a boring speedrun. Oh no, okay. So that move had invincibility frames, which I don't want. I want to get hit here. Oh, come on. I thought that'd kill me. And now he's not attacking, so...
So if you beat him, the game totally ends right here?
RNG for what moves he gives us, but there's not much we can. And that's the prologue done. It's just go through, kill a few enemies, and die.
What do the stylish points mean?
Stylish points dictates your rank at the end of the mission, which doesn't actually mean much to the run. The higher your rank is, the more currency you get at the end of each mission. But the big thing is no damage. If you don't get hit by anything in a mission, you get roughly 5,000 to 10,000 extra orbs, which is enough. Because right now we have 5,000, and our goal right now is not get hit. because if we get hit, we lose roughly, I think on this mission, 6,000 orbs.
Let's get air for them.
Oh wow.
Riding high.
So a lot of the early game is dictated by these no damages,
Let's get air for
but there is a lot of backup trap in case you do get hit.
collecting human blood. It's not just about feeding.
But obviously the backup is slower.
Let's get air.
So this is the first use of the breakers.
What a lovely house.
We're planting these bombs, which are their big power move
And have some
of this arm called Overture. So we're just plant all three of our arms. The explosion. I just grabbed those orbs because it's, I think, only a few extra orbs. But that should be a no damage, which is good. That is... Guys, right there, you get a ×2 no damage bonus. Yeah, so we got 13,000 orbs on that mission. I believe you only get around 6,000-7,000 without a no damage. Which you can buy what you need, because we're going to buy our first moves here. On this mission, it's we're buying speed, which is increased movement speed. We're buying roulette spin, which is our highest damage per second. So speed, streak is a dash forward that is a with damage. Split is a like chop down, and roulette spin is a rare combo that does more damage than each basic. So we're gonna want to use that combo most of the time.
Very cool.
So right now it's just a small section in combat, which is very similar to what we have been doing because these are very weak. We're not going to be utilizing roulette spin because we don't need to. And see, they die with the 1-2. And yeah, that's it. That's that room complete. So we're picking up a new arm. It's called Gerbera. It has air movement. So you can like do that with it. It's like a dash instead of an explosion of damage. We'll be using that on the boss at the end of this mission. This is that's roulette spin right there. And this
Really cool attack.
killing these guys as fast as possible while keeping up XC still, because you want that extra speed bonus that the attacks get. And then we just got a bit of movement. That. So I use that dash streak for like into cutscenes and stuff, as it's faster if you can cancel it. If cutscenes do cancel it.
Yeah.
And
I can make this work.
and here's another arm we pick up,
Should have just hacked my way through. It doesn't seem like a demon.
and there's another one at the top of these stairs. This is an overture again, the same one from first mission we used. We just won't be using 3, so it won't be as big of a blast. So this is its base attack right here. And we use the bomb, launch him towards that, and shoot the other one without the bomb, because the gunshot has an area of effect that will explode the bomb. And then
This again.
small movement section. We get stunned here, and there's an invisible wall. Oh, the invisible wall wasn't there, it was too slow. So just more combat of killing things quickly. Nothing has gone too wrong yet.
Yeah, how much RNG is involved in these like enemy fights and levels in general?
Most enemy fights, like these ones, aren't that bad for RNG. Most fights aren't really RNG, actually. Like, all of those
Really sick.
have the same amount of enemies and all that. So, and we just grab them right off the bat, so we don't have to deal with
Sick of this.
them attacking us. RNG comes a bit later with the character V and some of the bosses. So there is a fight that we just skipped by jumping over that pit. Usually fall into it trigger a cutscene, but you can just jump over the
Gonna lie.
cutscene trigger. Those phone booths usually bring up a store, but we don't watch cutscenes do that. We'll just get to the end of the mission. So here's our first boss. It's Goliath. And we have to damage tamper him. So I didn't use Exceed there because if I do just Exceeds, he jumps too early, and then I can't get enough damage on him. So we just stop exceeding for one cycle of the roulette spin. And we're just playing. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. So we're gonna have to do some backups. Usually you can kill him in the church, but I messed up the cycle a little bit. So we're just gonna grab this overture and let him come out.
I'm surprised he's not getting damaged by all the falling debris everywhere.
I don't know why he doesn't. I wish he did. But that's the end of mission 2. We're gonna have to grab some backup later on though, since we didn't get the no damage here. Usually you want to get at least missions 1 through 3 with no damage, so that you can afford to move in mission 5. But there's backups. We can deal. So this mission has an out of bounds, actually. It's the only out of bounds with the character hero. There is a lot with these. He has a burst clip. Like, he has a move that can just clip him through almost any wall. We will only be using one in this run because it's the only one that's somewhat consistent, for me at least. Dante has a few skips as well, but we'll be getting to that much later. So we equipped a new arm. It's called Punchline. It's a fist that flies off his arm with a rocket. So he lost his arm for story reasons, Nero, and he got a new arm with these robot arms that the character builds, and we use those most of the time because they do a lot of damage. So here's a new enemy. They're annoying. They are bats. And that room's done. So, like, Devil Hunter, which is the other difficulty, the harder difficulty pretty much has the same stuff in every room.
Think I'll handle
Just
the
things
closer
take
one
longer to
first.
die.
Gotta start somewhere.
How much longer is that run compared to this run?
I've never personally done a run, but I'm pretty sure it's about 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so this next platform, not this one. Now we're using these grips to just launch us over. This platform is where we clip out of bounds. This wall right here is really finicky.
Screw it. We're taking
You can
this
just kind
fucking
of
thing
use a
down.
split on it and it clips you out of bounds. I believe you can do it with other characters as well. So here's what I mean. So there's the fish that launches out, but you can ride it like a skateboard.
Baby, go! Hell yeah!
And we'll be using this since we need to get back in bounds. We'll be using that move to get back in bounds. So we're supposed to be going through a big section of sewer, but sewers are gross. We don't want to go in the sewer. So we just kind of fly around the sewer.
Wow. This looks
and
so cool.
This part right here, it triggers a cutscene and we're back in bounds. So here's a new enemy. This is the most prominent parry in the game that we'll be using. You can parry these guys and it gives them a big opening for damage,
No way out.
like that. So normally you parry them and then have to hit them again, but that move that I just did has multiple hits. And I missed the parry. So we taunt the enemies, which is those like, I'll play with you, and they attack faster. Here's the next boss, is just up here.
Can't protect anything.
This one we're just gonna try and just extremely obliterate with these arms, but I'm not good at this cycle, so we'll see if it even goes through properly. I think we got it. So we just kind of lay down the heat. Yeah, we got it.
Wow.
We just kind of stun lock her with these arms.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Doesn't look like can do,
And
can
she's
really
dead.
do much. Wow.
The problem is, if she turns more than 90 degrees, she flies away after an arm. So you have to make sure she doesn't too far. And we got the no damage, so we got more extra orb.
Nice job. You made that look really easy.
It's a pain, that one, to me. It can be quite difficult since the opening move on that is RNG. She has 3 different opening moves. We got my least favorite, but still managed to get it. This is V. He's kind of RNG since you don't control the placement of your weapons because he has familiars. He has a little kitty cat and a chicken,
Aww.
but they're actually like not that. They're a griffin, I think a panther. But we shall see them in a sec.
Yay, I'm so excited.
So there's the first one.
We have a minor error.
There's Shadow right there. So we can use this thing called Devil Trigger to power up the and the familiars, but also they cannot kill. they can only damage, you have to kill them. They get into like a weakened state, and then you kill.
So it's not like you can just be like, okay, friend, you go over there, and I'll just keep moving. You got to kind of stick around to.
You have to stick
the
around
final
a little
blow.
bit, yeah.
Gotcha.
So because we didn't get that first no damage, we sacrificed a buy at the beginning of this mission, which is a purple orb, which gives us more devil trigger to power up familiars. But we're also going to be picking up a few orb caches throughout this level. So here's another small skip. This isn't a long fight, but this is faster. You can just kind of hit a cutscene trigger to the wall like that, and you're done that fight. So that was a cutscene to show Nightmare. We don't use him much because he kind of sucks. So there it is, white orbs, replenish devil trigger. And this is just his fastest move now, is throwing his cane and then falling faster after double jumping with.
Any more power.
Okay, we got that at least. Okay, so this is just a small section. There isn't much to these levels. He's very much, let's build some economy, get some orbs going. Okay. He's also very hard to get no damages with, I find. There isn't much to these fights, just keep up damage with the familiars. And he is definitely, in my opinion, and a lot of people, the weakest character in the run. And that's just because you don't have as much control over him.
Blood is the source of his strength. Cut off his
But we are definitely coming up to, in my opinion, one of the coolest bosses in the game, but can be a pain in the speedrun. So, again, just keeping up to.
Come back. Come on.
He has, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, he's a cool character and all, but he doesn't feel full and complete like Nero or Dante. It could be because it is his first game in the series, and most likely his last, for story reasons. So here's the boss, Nidhogg. He's a parasite on the thing called the Clydepoth. That was a mistake. I messed up the cycle already. Okay. So you defeat the 3 tentacles at the bottom. He falls down, and you can just lay down. You can just go. try and kill all 3 tentacles again before he... So he can, like, go hide up in a tree. And we don't want that. And yeah, see, he went up and hid. And the bats from the fight we skipped are back. And bada boom. And that's the end of the mission. We just have to go through this animation.
Well done.
That fight could have been better, but with him going up so early, it felt early, at least. Not much I could have done. And also I messed up right at the beginning. But now we're getting into a really cool skip, in my opinion. It is what is called skewer skip because it uses a move called skewer, which is a giant spike that Shadow launches out. And if you jump in front of it, it can clip you through walls. So hopefully we get that quickly. It can also be really finicky in places, and I don't want to deal with the finicky. So buy quick play, which is his speed, and we buy the move skewer, so we skip most of them. I'm also going to be taking a much safer route than what's used in most runs, because the one that is used in most runs can actually hard lock the game, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to be setting up Shadow and Honor here, and just like that, it pushes us outside the map like that, and we hit a cutscene right there, and we're back in, which skipped like, I think 3 fights. And also, that move that launched us out of bounds is one of Shadow's highest damage, so it's good that we get it in the run.
We have some questions in chat. What is your favorite Devil May Cry game, if you've played any of the other ones?
It is this game, but I do really like 4 and 3. The other ones are a different style that aren't the same as they were. 1 and 2 were based off Resident Evil, kinda.
Oh.
The first one was supposed to be Resident Evil 4, and it was too different, and they were like, we don't want this to go to waste.
That's actually kind of cool origin story for the series.
The reboot is also pretty good, but it is a much different. But this is easily my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Come back. To see the world
Do I have some time here to talk a little bit about the marathon, or some time coming up?
Oh, yeah, this is just going to be a slow boss coming up, so go right ahead.
All right. So thank you so much for everyone watching. You're watching Power Up with Pride 2020. We're running from June 12th through the 14th for 24 hours each day, and we're benefiting the Trevor Project. To find out more about them, you can find the link to their site in our panels below, or use !charity. Also, if you're interested in donating, you can type !donate in the chat, find the schedule by using !schedule, and see our wonderful incentives with !incentives. And some of the incentives we have coming up include choosing the character for Odin Sphere Leprosir. With Demarine, you can choose between 5 different characters, and the bid war is really close between Mercedes, Cornelius, and Velvet. It's by a margin of less than $5. So if you have a character you really want to see, be sure to put your donations towards that incentive.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Now let's go. Here, now.
So this is just Garion. He's an annoying boss more than anything because of how much he can tank. And also how he manipulates time. Everything. Like this, he moves extremely fast, brilliant.
Power to control time. It's quite a horror.
But if you can land a few skewers like this, it just does a lot of damage. Okay, so this is what's called stalemate. It's when the familiars get damaged too much. You just gotta stand by them to get them back to normal. And that's just an extremely annoying boss, so not much we could have done there.
And send it right back. God.
That one's just hope for the best. And we're back to Nero after this, so probably, yeah. So the next 3 missions are Nero, so we'll be just vibe into some. We gotta buy a few things though. So we gotta buy XC2, which is a... No, we don't want quick customization. Breaker Plus allows us to hold 4 breakers instead of just 3. XC2 allows us to have an extra charge on the motorcycle and in the sword. So we can accidentally miss an X-Seed in the middle of a combo and keep up the speed. It also gives us movement options in Mission 8. But I was just setting up a few, so you can set up like magazines of breakers. So I was setting up a few for the next few missions. But this entire mission is a boss fight. A really annoying one at that. So, now, so it's just a giant cockroach.
Well, she ain't dead.
Look at this ass prancing.
So we're just trying to
Think I'm turning back now?
break his legs, like, because it gives us orbs and does a little bit of damage. Because we're just waiting for him to slam down like that so we can play 3 bombs on his weak point so we can hit massive damage. And now, so he does this, he hides the weak spot, does these spikes that you can't really do anything about. Oh, okay. And now we're just gonna be... We're just gonna be hitting him with this, like this. Because if you jump, you can fall off, and we don't want to do that. And he's doing more spikes, which I can't do anything about.
Where do you think you're going?
And... Okay, we're trying to plant the last arm. And that's it. So the problem with that boss is it's just kind of boring. And he has an aggressive mode that's just random, like you can't manipulate anything. But we got a no damage, so that should make up some orbs that we lost earlier in the run. This is the first mission, Mission 7, where you can choose between some characters. You can choose between V or Nero. V is faster, he has a skip. But I don't know it, I'm not good at it. So we're not going to be doing it. We're going to go with the safe strat. Because I believe it's only about a minute slower. If you nail the skip.
Mm-hmm. So it looked like you were able to choose your character there. Is that true? You could be Nero or V. That's really cool.
So over there, you can hear V. He's off to the left over there.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you'll see characters, if you see it in the middle of, on the left side of the screen, starring the DMC crew. That usually means there's somewhere on the screen, like another character.
You can follow if you want.
So because I can't make up speed because there's an enemy around, I will be using Kerberos. It's a little bit faster than jumping and taunting. So we'll just bring a few of those guys with us. And we gotta wait for that to clear. So now we're using another Gerber break it, like the big power move in this room, because I don't have to do anything. It just fires, those beams just bounce off every wall and just hit everything enough times that you don't need to do much. So these blood clots have plants that usually block your way, so you need to break those. And now we just break another one of these things. Ooh. We don't want to get hit here. So V pretty much goes from his first fight to the end of the level. So since we went through so much in this level, it saves a bit, but because Nero is just so much faster, it doesn't save as much as you would think. And now it's just WWE Super Slam. We just kind of suplex a lot of things. Especially these guys. So those guys are easy. That doesn't actually count as a damage, which I like. So we're going to want to get under this clock that's above us, which I didn't do. You want to get under the clock to stop them from going too high so you can buster them right after. And then we've got to grab these two arms here. This is for the final fight, this is for the fight that's at the top of these escalators. That counts as a damage though, which kind of sucks. Let's see if we can get the parry. And we did, even though we got hit. Okay. So we just do another Gerber breakage, which bounces around that ring, kills almost everything. And it's just a segment down to the final arena of this mission. A lot of movement-based stuff in this game. It's not the deepest movement, but it's enough.
Let's get airborne. Now make a win.
So we just want to buster almost everything, which is those big power suplexes. As Nero. And you want to buster them while in the air because it's a faster animation. And just like that, that fight. But that's a really good fight. This next mission is the Salty Run Back. So the guy who killed us in the first mission, we gotta run back to him. The demon named yours. But those breakers I set up on mission 6 allows me to not have to go into another menu. I can just do that, and I have the breaker set up I need for this. So we're back in the demon tree, which is where the prologue took place, where we got smacked.
Alright. Just you wait, you big bastard. I'll drag you all the way down here. What the hell?
But pretty much the rest of this game will start looking like this. Okay, we lost speed. But this is fine. We'll just air taunt.
Let's get airborne. Right and high. Let's get airborne. Right and high. Let's get airborne.
So we're using the roulette tandem with the overture here to kill these guys really fast. And here comes the movement that the X2 brings. So we have this auto-scroller coming up, these elevators. So I just barely missed this, but if you go like... Oh, okay, never mind, I can't wall like that.
Right and high.
If it was a little lower, you could have just Gerbered onto, like, use the arm I have equipped. But instead, with blast, we must wait this out. And then you just... So the XE2 just does much higher launch when you just move, which is...
Let's get airborne.
I believe it's called high time on... It's just a move that allows you to pull enemies off of the air with you.
Where does this go?
So here's a dev intended skip. Like actually 100%
That'd be a shout.
was intended to be used. And so this fight normally, like I actually did this on my casual playthrough. Down in that pit is a fight.
Let's get airborne.
You can just kind of jump over it.
Alright.
We have time for a donation in here?
Yeah, that's perfect, fine.
Awesome. We have $50 from Bean that says, "What a great marathon it has been for such a great cause. This donation goes towards another great cause, saving the frames in Super Metroid." Thank you so much for your generosity.
Nice. So, pretty much every enemy has a certain, like, cycle that you can do. That's the fast way to kill them. So if you notice on the, like, lizard-looking ones, they're called riots. I did a roulette spin and then a 1, 2, 3. That's the fastest way to kill them. Other enemies have different cycles, but most enemies have something very similar to that. Until you get to the beefy enemies in the later game.
Well, haven't had enough yet. Riding high.
So that last, like, little Gerbera dash was at the end of that fall was just save a small animation time. There was a lot of small stuff in this game like that that allow you to go faster. This game is a lot more about knowledge than knowledge and execution than movement. Because I think one of my times I went and, like, I got hit every time on every mission, and I was only about 10 minutes slower. So just knowing where, like, some arm pickups are and orb caches are and, like, enemy spawns and stuff like that will save you a lot of time. Much more than just learning. And this is actually the last blood elevator we'll be going to in this mission, as we are back at the demon camp. And then there's the line of phone here.
Good. Finally made it.
So we're just grabbing some to speed up the end of this mission. So this time we have to break his crystal, and then he goes into a second phase where he needs to die, where we need to die. Because you can kill him here, and I don't believe credits roll, but you unlock the next difficulty, which we don't want to do. We want to get to mission 20.
Think it's good to be king, huh? Not for much longer.
So we'll be using all the arms we have equipped to damage the crystal.
I'm not interested in you having a winning streak. Now
And then we just use a gunshot. You have to hit him once, and then that plays. So we're just planting an overture, using a helter-skelter breakage, because I believe this thing matters more how many times you hit it. But the more you damage this crystal, the more damage he does to you, so that's why we want so much to do it. But we're dead already. And now we're on the mission 9, which we're back to V, which has some pretty cool scare. I think this is the strongest mission in run. Just because of the things that are involved. Hopefully I can get them.
You got this.
Because one of them brings you to, in my opinion, the worst group of enemies in the entire game.
Ooh.
So if you skip that group, which is what I want. One of them you can retry quite a few times without losing too much time. But the other one, you cannot retry it, because if you retry it, you go right back to the beginning of the level, and it's one fight and a lot of movement into the level. But this level is a lot of movement. You are normally able to keep speed through here, which
coming from the Clifox route.
I don't know why it messed up this time, but it did. But there's this fight, pretty simple with him, just DT the pets. And then just can you not hit anything, sir?
Play nice. We have to go fast here.
Stop running, sir.
Just come here. That's all I ask of you.
There we go.
Nice.
And we got I believe that's the fastest animation you can get for that kill, so that's good. But now comes like a nice movement section, which is really fun. So this game differentiates between tapping jump and holding jump. So you tap there, you hold here. Oh, I didn't get it, but normally you can get all the way up there with just a one hold. But keeping the speed up in there can be a bit of a pain, but it's fun to learn how to do that. And now, here comes the first skip and why we came up here. So we're going to be running against this crystal here to try and build speed. So launch, and there's a fight down below there. And we just kind of jump over the trigger for the fight. It's behind us now.
We're good. We'll just keep moving.
That's the worst fight.
Oh, wow.
So we just kind of jump past it. Also skewer clip, the skewer skip, the one that pushes you through walls. Like most runners are 90% sure it's frame dependent how far you get pushed. So since I'm on console, I don't get as good of a clip. So there is a small skip here that no one has ever actually used because it's pretty much not worth it. But it's not even possible on consoles at the moment. Maybe next gen with backwards compatibility and all that. So that door on the far wall over there, you can clip through if you have a high enough rate and get a good enough clip. But because you can just, it only saves a little bit of movement. Excuse me, I did not know they could come out of there. But here's the second skip anyways. So there's a checkpoint pretty much right here, but we can manipulate B's cane throw to just teleport past through the barrier. And if you have fast enough movement, nothing spawns behind you. If you have too slow movement, one of the gold enemies can catch up to you. And so we just want to parry the scissors here. That was a really good scissor section. There's more cash off and we're grabbing. We have to wait for the scissors to attack us anyways. Oh. And we're just finishing up this fight here. And the next fight introduces one of the beefier enemies and a later game enemy. They're called nobodies. They suck.
Nobodies? What are we in Kingdom Hearts now?
Yeah, we can go with that. Okay, so we catch speed so we can break those crystals. So these enemies right here are nobodies.
It's the devil's soul.
They're just annoying because of how much they jump around.
Gouger.
Also, this last enemy will have a long animation if you don't do anything special. So we're gonna jump and hit it while right next to it. If you just use the regular teleport or hit it while you're on the ground, you have a really long animation. And we don't want that.
Retreat.
So now we're at the halfway point of the game already. And we're on to, in my opinion, the best character, Dante. He just has so much more option than Nero or V because he has 4 styles: Gunslinger, Trickster, Swordmaster, and Royal Guard. Gunslinger is more range. Trickster is a movement-based style. Swordmaster is melee-based, and Royal Guard is for block. He also has much more weapons than anybody else. So we'll be using Trickster for the entire run. We don't need to buy speed or anything because of how fast Trickster is.
Did I really do this? Well, no accounting for
You'll be
taste.
seeing a lot of these gauntlets because they do big boy damage.
Fired up.
Okay, that was a little rough. You can usually kill those with just air 1, 2, 3. But these first 2 fights are kind of boring with Dante because he doesn't have any upgrades. Can't buy upgrades right off the bat with him. So we have to go through with just this.
Fired up.
Where's the last one? And also, if you'll notice, if you pay attention enough, they had an original version of Dante's theme, Subhuman, which then had a lot of controversy around it because of something the singer did. So they changed it. But since I run on an unpatched copy, an unpatched version off the disc, it is it's the original version that was scrapped. We don't buy Gunslinger, we buy Swordmaster 4, level 4, because it gives us a giant uppercut that does a lot of damage and will be probably our biggest source of damage. I'm actually going to grab a few orb trees because I think I can do something pretty sweet. So we're going to block this just like that. Don't jump away, he jumped away. Okay. So this next room is scissors, and we'll just be using Dante just in his natural habitat with his sword instead of gauntlet.
Nothing's...
Hello, good sirs, can you attack? Okay, we missed that. Okay. Hello, good sir. Okay. So we're gonna grab this orb tree that's in here because I want to do a skip in the next mission since we're pretty close to having it. And that is using the unpatched kits that I will explain when we get to them.
So to avoid patching, like, are you able to down patch if you have the patch game, or you just like never update your game?
On console, you can just uninstall and then reinstall without updating the game.
Oh, okay.
This version is actually not on any of the versions on PC. Because it seems as though they removed it before, like, after the discs were made, but before the game released. So, no one really knows why it's here, but that's pretty much the theory, is they caught it after they printed the discs, but before the game fully released.
Gotcha. So is the console run faster than the PC run for that version? For that reason?
Technically not because of loads, but if you were to just count mission times, it is faster.
Cool.
Because I believe the skips that we use save about, I want to say 5 to 6.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh man, they're already here. These ladies work fast.
And so we're using a move called, I want to say it's just called Trick, but we can just teleport to enemies using the Trickster style. And it's just easier for the bats because of how much they fly around. But Dante is very big on learning how to switch styles. You can switch styles on the fly. And learning how to switch between all of them can save a lot of time. You'll notice in the top left corner, you'll notice TGSR, and you'll see them switch between the T and the S a lot, because Tricksters are movement and Sword Masters are combat. But you'll see Royal Guard a few times. I used it earlier in this mission, and we'll use it on one of the boss cycles, which I think is the most fun to pull off. It's the next mission boss that we use it on. And Gunslinger will be used a lot in late game because we get an extremely overpowered weapon. I almost fell there, but we're good. We get an extremely overpowered weapon that uses guns.
Yeah, getting close. I can feel it. I heard him.
Okay. So we just want to use this move, which is called the Real Impact, on most things because of just the sheer amount of damage it does. These guys are probably the biggest enemy that isn't a boss. They're extremely annoying because they just constantly parry you. You don't want to hit, you don't want to be. So there's a timer on this fight here. This is before the prologue, or during the prologue, I should say. So we don't win this fight again. But if you can destroy the crystal, you can finish the fight a bit faster. So that's what we're going to try and do. But it doesn't look like it. I just keep getting hit. Okay, I think we hit the end of the timer. That's what it looks like. Like the mission's over. We're on to mission 11. How many orbs do we have? We have more than 40,000. We'll have 40,000. We can do the skip in mission 11. Which is really cool, but I'm thinking it's actually normal slower to do it. Unless you hit a bunch of no damages. Because I used to go out of my way to grab a few extra orbs, currency, and I don't think it's faster if you go and grab orbs. So we need to buy Trickster level 4, which gives us a trick move called Ground Trick. It teleports you to the ground, but in certain places it can just clip you out of bounds, and that's what we want. So I'll explain that much more in depth once we get to the skip, but right now,
Looks like I
it's just
overslept.
more combat, more
Time for a warm-up.
killing things fast. Okay, so we have to break that so that we could go up here. And now we got a few more lizard boys that we want to kill. You can also manipulate enemies in this game by keeping them off screen. They don't queue up attacks when they're off screen. So they can't really attack you if you keep them off.
I'm not a fan of ruins.
So we need to break this blood clot so that we can go down below here. And this is where the next skip is. So we just come up over here, and we see how fast we get this. If you go in between the two heights floors and you ground trick, it can clip you out. Man, this is taking a few tries. Excuse me, sir? Can you go out of bounds? There we go. So then if you use ground trick constantly while there's no ground below you, it acts like a regular trick move. We're aiming for those two gray dots up there. That's what we want to hit. Because that is the boss fight.
Wow. I love seeing what the game looks like with just like a few blobs over here.
There you go. And we hit a cutscene trigger which triggers the boss fight.
Wow.
We skip like, I want to say 3 fights.
Wow. That's an awesome skip.
So Okay, this fight went wrong. This fight went very wrong. There we go. Okay, he's teleporting. Yeah, usually you can get him before he teleports. Excuse me, sir. Can you not do that? Okay, there we go. So that boss fight went terribly. But he gives us a new weapon. And it's our best. For most enemies. It's this. It's a literal motorcycle, but it's a sword. This mission has another skip using that move ground trick. And in my opinion, it's a really clean one. It looks really good. But all these ground trick skips are console exclusive because we never find a version on PC that had it. How ground trick behaves in this.
I suggest you get the hell out of my way.
So you do an attack when the bike glows purple, goes into another mode called Overtop, which does more damage. And it's the reason why this weapon is so fast. The first hit isn't the most damaging one, it's the second, third. But usually you have to go up, break some things to open up the statue. Break some bug clots so that the statue opens up. But we're not doing that. We're just gonna trick into this wall here. If we can get it. Oh shit, we tricked through it. We want to trick not here. Can I get back out, please? Excuse me, sir. This is not how this was supposed to go. Usually you can just trick out on the side. What if we go on this side? That's even smaller gap. There we go. We're back outside. We did it again, Jesus. There we go. This is what you wanted to do. We're right here. We're out of bounds. Because technically where we were is bounds, we just didn't do it the proper way. But we just kind of tricked back inbounds and we went under the statue already. Instead of having to jump all the way up.
Brings me back.
I believe this one saves about 3 minutes. 2 or 3 minutes. So now we get a... So Dante has a devil trigger, which is a powered up version of him that I've been using. Now he gets a new version called Sin Devil Trigger. It's a much more powerful version that we use almost nowhere in the run. I think we use it in, like, besides here, one other place. Because it's just slow, because you cannot cancel this. Okay, we missed.
What have you done?
How long does a play of this game take casually for context?
My first playthrough, I believe, was 12 hours.
Okay, so it's sizably longer.
Yeah. Sir, can you die? There we go. Normally you can just hit him with an uppercut right off bat, but I guess I was too far away from him. So someone finally defeated the Demon Heroes. And we are on to I usually consider this a point story game. But now we're on to mission 13. Dante has a skip in this mission. It's so inconsistent, and I don't even know if it's faster. I actually need to time it. I am the most console runner of this game. But we'll be using Nero. So that's the overpowered weapon I was talking about earlier. For the late using guns. Uses your currency. So that's why we don't the entire time. Because we want to. I chose Dante. Whoops. Looks like we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna go for the skip.
I believe you can do this.
It's a difficult one. I want to say the most difficult just because of how small the timing window is. Because you have to hit a ground trick at a certain point while you're falling. So like on the last floor, you hit a ground trick like here. It just clips you out of bounds and you can just go to the end of the hole. So we're just... So I'm trying to build up STT gauge. You have to sacrifice your normal devil trigger, power it up. We didn't get enough, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, you have to do a ground trick right about there, which I'm to clip you out of bounds. So that's the last one of these, and then we're on to the blood clots, which I'm probably just going to use some devil trigger because it has a move that you can actually cancel right at the end, but it's a long animation. This move right here, I'm doing nothing right now. Wait, does it not kill the blood clots? It doesn't do the blood clots, okay. That's nice. Good reference, good reference. I normally do that at the beginning to kill all the spawns that are over top of the blood clots, but I didn't have enough devil trigger at the beginning of this floor. So that was just time lost, but it's alright.
Still moving along, doing a good run.
Yeah. We got a no damage, which is good. And we're on to V. I'm on mission 16. I'm going to buy that third purple orb I didn't get on 4 because it helps with a lot of the cycles in the later game. So this is a boss rush level. Is 3 bosses that you have to fight as V. It is Goliath, which we fought in mission 2.
Damn it.
Artemis, which we fought in mission 3, and Cavalier, which is the knight that we fought in mission 11 after the skip. And this is a forced walking section. The only one in the game, actually.
Are you alright, B? You might want to take a break here.
We need to walk up to these stones, and once they start glowing, we can skip. And we have to go through each of these doors to a boss fight. So we're gonna go up against Artemis first.
Where am I?
And you actually don't have any of your pets right now. You have to grab them at each start of a boss fight. So I will be grabbing Shadow because his move skewer can kill Artemis in 3 hits.
So, this is where they are.
And she needs to stop moving. This is what is kind of risky about this strat. And she's dead. That was the 3rd hit. It took a while to get out, but it's done. Are there any questions from chat or anything?
Yeah, Chuck, do you have any questions about the run in general, about the series? Do you have any hot takes about the series? Like, who's your favorite character? I really like all the flowy hair everyone has. This is my first time seeing the game. I think the costuming is really awesome. The game looks beautiful.
Designs are really good.
Yeah, I'm really loving the aesthetic. I have a question. How difficult of a game is this casually?
Casually, this is definitely the easiest in the series. I would say on I don't even if we're going 0 to Dark Souls, even then Dark Souls isn't the worst of the worst. Pretty bad, can be difficult at times. This game is very forgiving compared to the other ones. In the series, I would say it's the second biggest after the reboot. The reboot tried to westernize the games because Capcom wasn't happy with how they were selling over here. And by doing that, they made it easier and took out a lot of what the series' identity. But
Really cool.
that reboot was rebooted back to the original timeline.
So I do have a few questions from chat, if we have time.
Oh, yeah.
Do you actually fight the literal devil, and does the devil really cry in the game?
No. You can fight the embodiment of evil in the second one.
Okay. Gotcha.
But that game isn't the greatest. It's definitely the weakest in the series.
Yeah, some people in chat had been saying the second one was kind of rough.
The second one was rough because it was made in less than a year, practically. It's
We also have, what is the best weapon?
in my opinion,
Yeah.
It's time we got back on course.
I really like the bike in this game, but also the guitar in the third one.
Something else, huh?
You have a guitar that's also a scythe.
Ooh.
Right, 3.
That sounds really awesome.
But in this game, it's definitely the motorcycle that's sword.
Mm-hmm.
Not the sword that has a motorcycle engine. We'll clarify that.
Important clarification.
They're safe. No time to worry about them, B. Gotta hurry.
So this is just a movement section to the end of the level. There isn't anything else to fight in this mission. It's just those 3 bosses and that's it. So we're on to Nero's mission next, which takes place concurrently. The next 3 missions take place all at the same time.
Oh.
If you're doing casual run, you can look around and see Dante and Nero in this mission, and V and Dante in the next mission. And Nero and V as Dante. Actually, we will probably see V and Dante here.
I'll definitely keep an eye out.
The only problem with that is it makes this game run very rough on these missions. Like, it drops hard on this mission specifically. So, but it's a really cool addition. So we were supposed to choose Nero on 13, but we didn't. So we have to buy what we were supposed to buy here, which is air height, which is the double jump, combo D, which is a ground that we will be using, and I believe that's. But I do need these. Sorry about that. And then we set up our breakers, which is a buster arm, so we can super slam some stuff, and 3 overtures, so we get big explosion. This mission has 2 sections with 2 different paths each. So you have, like here, you can go down below to a different path or through these spikes. These spikes are much faster, so we go this way. There's also another part later on that we will be choosing the faster route, obviously. And this is the only fight in this section, and that's why we choose this section. You're supposed to take the spikes kind of slow. It gives you an arm that actually slows time in a bubble. So you're supposed to slow the time around the spikes. But we just kind of jump around. So that was the first section of this level, and we're at the meeting point of those first 2 paths. And you can go straight or down. We're going down because it's faster. And then we just kind of run by these guys. They're not very good at their job. We'll just say that.
Or maybe you're just really good at speedrunning.
Maybe. We'll go with that. We'll go with I'm very good, not they're bad. Boost my ego a little bit.
Positive reinforcement here.
So we're trying to break this guy's armor since these guys have armor. And then we just kind of do the big buster move and kill him. Grab the orbs. And then we just buster the rest of these guys. Oh no, oh no, don't break my arm, thank you. Also, another thing that makes this game easy is just how unaggressive the enemies are compared to the other games. They stand around a lot. That is in part because I am playing on the easiest difficulty, but it's also they are just slower. So that's where the other two paths meet up again, and we're on to the final path of the mission to the boss. But there's one more fight. But since we have our Buster Arm break it, it shouldn't be too bad of a fight. This section is where I noticed the biggest frame drops in the game, is right here. I don't know if you could see it because the video is only running at 30 frames per second. Sir. There we go. That guy can summon more enemies, so we want to kill him first. And we're just... There we go. So this is the chicken lady boss. I think those orange lines is Dante in another mission using Sin Devil Trigger. But now we have to fight the chicken lady, and hopefully it doesn't go too bad. We're going to take a hit because it plays a cutscene that can erase our bomb. We don't want any of the bombs to be erased. So we normally plant these. And we broke one. That's not good.
Anything with a nose can follow you.
I keep missing the plant, which is good. You're trying to stun her. But you're just trying to stun her so you can get the roulette spins off. And that's the end of that mission. And now we're on to the Dante mission, which has the last of his skip and the last skip in the game. The rest is just play the game after that. But we will be using the hat, which is extremely overpowered. It just you'll see it when we get there. So first we need to upgrade to Gunslinger 4 so we can use the move from the hat that we want. And we're going to upgrade this already so that we don't have to later. And it does more damage right off the bat by upgrading the hat to Dr. Faust 2. This game has a lot of nods to the past games, like Dr. Faust is based off of a enemy from Devil May Cry 4. And so are a lot of the enemies, like Nobodies, are from Devil May Cry 1. There's an enemy called the Kana from Devil May Cry 3.
Alright, this is the real deal. Full speed ahead.
Okay, hat, Gunslinger, and we just kind of rain meteors down on everybody. Excuse me, can you? There we go. behemoth shows up. We don't care. He's dead. What
Wow.
Like that move can kill the final boss on the hardest difficulty in one shot.
Wow, that's really powerful.
The only problem is, see how I only have 22,000 orbs right now?
Right.
But when you fully upgrade it and to kill the boss in one oh, that's not good. That is very not good. Hopefully that fixed what I wanted to do. Where am I? Where am I?
Oh
I don't
my
know where
gosh.
I am.
Ah,
Don't hard lock.
this looks scary.
I think it hard locked. But I can easily fix this. We'll just close the game and reopen. This is allowed on the leaderboards.
Safety strats.
It should load us pretty much right where we were.
So what happened?
Normally I land on a platform after clipping out. I missed the platform, and then I just kind of fell into oblivion, and the game didn't like that.
Oh.
If you go into certain spots while out of bounds, the game just doesn't like it and hard locks. Pretty much every out of bounds in the game has a thing like that. So, that happened. That hasn't happened in a while for me. Hard locked that. And it normally doesn't happen right off the bat. It's usually, well, when we get there, I'll explain where it usually happens and why I don't have it happen anymore.
Devil May Cry.
Should load us just before where we were. Yeah, right here. So normally, I think I might have went too fast. You just kind of clip out. Excuse me, I did it again. Are you serious?
No.
We'll just checkpoint. It's fine. It's fine. We should have time.
Got this. While we're reloading, we have a $5 donation from Anonymous with no comment. Thank you so much for your donation. We appreciate it.
Nice. Okay. Normally we land here. We kept missing this platform. I used to jump to the right a little bit, but if you jump more towards the left, you don't hard. And this is why you will see V. Because we are in V's level. And we're just kind of running around the outside of the level right now. And we need to walk off an edge that's invisible just right. I get a better lineup on that. I believe right here should be good. And then we just fall. And please don't be too far to the right. Okay, we're not. There we go.
Onward and downward.
We're right outside the boss of this level now.
Nice.
Okay. Let's hope for the best here.
Fired up.
Okay, that guy's not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be just the Cerberus. Did I seriously? I just got hit there. That is not fair.
Who let this happen? That's illegal in the speedrun.
That is illegal.
Yeah, let's get the pipe in the chat for the run as we're moving towards the end of it. been such an awesome run. Thanks for explaining everything that's been going on. It's really cool to watch.
There's a lot to this run. What am I locked onto? I was onto the ground. That's not fun. This boss kind of sucks because if you mess it up, it's like minutes of time lost. And his hitboxes are just kind of terrible. Also, that enemy who followed us in here isn't helping the situation. But he's dead. It's over, finally.
Yeah.
I believe there's only about like 10 minutes left of the run. This is, yeah, okay, this is the final fight with Irzen. We will beat him finally. So, and then I'll have to explain some story stuff and explain what's going on here.
Ready to do this, Virgil?
So we're just trying to wait for him to teleport, so we're doing that move called...
Kinda looks like a transformer. With a giant eye in the middle.
We'll just kind of shoot him until he's dead, because he had only no health left. But that fight is a really fun fight. It's one of my favorite in the game. And we got no damage, so we're pretty golden so far.
They're brothers?
And now we have to fight. So we beat Urizen. Urizen is the demon half of Dante's brother Virgil. They are half demon, half human. V is the human half of Virgil. They combine together. Virgil is back. The familiars are still around. We fight the familiar. There's Dante's Virgil. So pretty much V the entire time through the game was trying to get back to Urizen to make him whole again. But these last fights, we just kind of meteor everything. So,
Never would have guessed you'd come back. Damn V.
and that fight's done.
Dang, that was easy.
Yeah, I find that pretty much after mission 16, it's pretty easy.
Can't wait for the rematch.
Except for this the final boss, which is Nightmare, the big familiar that we have to fight. Because we don't just... Where is it? There it is. I need those white orbs so I can have Devil Trigger. You know what? We're going with an old strat that's a bit safer.
Running away? Nah, didn't think so.
And So that fight's done. Okay.
One more round. Like I'm back in Malaya.
We gotta wait for the big guy to teleport to us.
Stand a chance. Are they not the worst place to die?
And now we just kind of hit him with Sin Devil Trigger. And just to make sure he's dead, we do this finishing move. And so we got 2 short missions left. Like maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes left, not even. And the last 2 fights are the same boss, just as Dante and Nero. It's Virgil, which ends up being Nero's dad and Dante's brother. So this is the final boss, pretty much.
Good luck.
We just meteor,
Oh, amazing.
but his opening move is RNG. There's a bit of manipulation, like step forward a little bit, but other than that, you have to hope he doesn't hit you.
I won't lose to the likes of you.
I do have a donation here if we have time.
Yeah, there's time for that.
Interesting.
All right, we have $20 from Great Icebox that says, "Kill not the moth nor butterfly, for the last judgment draweth nigh. He who shall train the horse to war shall never pass the polar bar. The beggar's dog and widow's cat, feed them and thou wilt grow fat." Good luck on the speedrun, Devil Hunters.
I'm gonna guess that was William Blake, which is all the reads pretty much throughout the entire game.
That's awesome.
But this is the final fight. It's very, hopefully we hit the right cycle. But as soon as he's dead, that would be fine.
This has nothing to do with you.
So 1, 2, 3.
With me. That's everything to do with me.
And then, so we're really, all we're doing in this mission is beating up our dad.
Bye, Dad.
That's time.
Well done.
So,
GG.
pretty good. And
Interesting.
that's it, that's all.
Oh, brother.
That was Devil May
You
Cry
cut off your old
5.
son's arm for more
I
power.
don't even know how long that was. I don't have a timer on my end.
It was an hour and 48 minutes and
The
23
underworld is
seconds.
taking over.
Okay, about 5 minutes slower than my PB. I get it.
It's good for a marathon run,
Yeah.
especially with that hard lock we had in there.
Yeah.
He's right. We need
But
to close that
no,
portal. Hey, you lost so
there's,
he says.
I probably wouldn't be still speedrunning this if it wasn't for the community. So I'd like to thank people like Cosmic, Mango Cole,
But if those roots continue to
I'm
spread
the-
through town,
they're all homies.
business.
Anyone I didn't mention,
No, that's the smartest thing I've
Uh,
ever heard you say.
I am going through a rebrand.
Hurry up.
If
We still got
y'all want to see more of this,
Evidently.
my channel name has changed to Contrary 3 underscore.
Roots from the underworld itself. Then we'll
So,
see the portal with the Yamato.
I guess that's it. That's all.
If you
I
do,
got
you
you.
can't
Awesome.
come back. Why do you think I'm going?
Thank you so much for the great
Somebody's
run.
gotta
I
keep an
loved
eye
it.
on
Loved the
old man.
commentary.
Thank you.
You can't just expect me to stay here while you both go.